Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a balanced rack, but I've got the Z, so I don't think there's a bingo here. I'm not seeing a 7 or an 8. Opponent changes. So what do I have? I have Zealot, which gets the Z doubled, retaining the B. Do I have any BZ plays? And I also have Zloty, which I'm minded to do. I think the A helps the B. Not seeing anything which plays the Z and the B and gets the Z doubled. Zloty for 48. Pretty good. I have Unbared, which currently plays in row G. I have the Ubble ending through the L, but I'm not seeing a bingo with that ending, but this rack does look good with the L. Is there an alternative bingo? Gosh, that really does look familiar, but I'm not seeing it. I've got the un prefix and the ed ending. Fantastic. Unbared remains available. No new spot for it. What about L and O? So, and I just noticed that I have under as a prefix. I think roundable or unlaboured may be good, or both of them. But neither of those has LO in this position. So let me get Unbared down for 71. And pretty good pickup, all bingo tiles. Duplicates reduce the likelihood of a bingo, but there could be one. So I have Isotin plus an extra A. At the moment, there's a floating R. Intarsia. Wow, that would be amazing. Playing that 2 games running. Could well be blocked if opponent plays in row H. And what about the D? Not seeing anything. Now, do I definitely not have a 7 here? I don't think I do. What about LO? I've got the anti-prefix. No, nothing with LO. What about ZO? Not seeing a bingo, but the Z could be a useful source of points because Zoa is good. Is there a way of getting rid of A and I in this region of the board? LO takes a T. No, not seeing any IAT words. Okay, that's a shame. Ut also available because Hoon takes an S. And what about NE? I don't think Zloty takes an S. Nope, not seeing one. Now, opponent taking a while on this play. Hoon takes a C in front. I think possibly an S as well. Wow, that could be important. If it does take an S, it would be an S-lane bingo. An S-lane. An S bingo lane. So what am I going to do if my bingo is blocked? Do I have any play down from the Z, which gets tripled? Doubled, rather. No, I don't. Now, Azo is good. Low takes nothing in front. It really would be good to play off A and I and just A and I. But I've absolutely seen nowhere to do that. Anything down from the H? Well, anything which burns 4 tiles is rack wrecking. Opponent could be close to a bingo. He's spent so long on this play. So he may not have a horizontal row H play. And maybe he'll play in column 2, which would be fantastic. Now, I haven't considered the A, but triple A, double I, pretty unlikely. A takes an A in front. I do have Inia in row J, sticking an I in the middle of column 1, but getting value from the Z. 23 points, leaving AST. Worth considering and certainly better than changing. Now opponent down to 15 minutes. Oh, fantastic. Does not block my bingo of Intarsia. Bear takes an A in front. So if I do have a 7-letter bingo, it will almost certainly play. But I haven't seen anything else. Intarsia 66. Oh wow, not a great pickup. Unbalanced in terms of vowels and consonants, and that is what the word unbalanced always refers to in a Scrabble context. You're looking at how many vowels you've got, how many consonants, and you really need to have at least 2 vowels and at most 4 to maximise your chances of a bingo, and also to increase the flexibility of playing off non-bingos, or certainly increase the number of options that you have. So what am I going to do here? I've got a 90-point lead. Pew is good. So do I have any SWO plays? Oh, and I don't think I do. Peck is good. SCO plays, yes, I have Scows. 52 points and a pretty good rack leave. R and S is good. F, not so good, but look at this. There's a fantastic F spot next to this triple, next to the A. I think Intarsia takes an S, but 1 to come and both blanks. Well, I think even if it does, I'm not going to be able to play off C, W and F. And this is taking out a hotspot. I'm going with this. Okay, well, balanced, no duplicates. Through an A, I would have Superfan, and that doesn't quite work with this A. Do I have anything through the I? I've got the un prefix, the pre-prefix, perfusion through I and O. No. So what do I have in row K? Burning my U. Okay. A lot less than I had before. Opponent's play. V doesn't take anything after it. So I could play super. Only 35 points. Okay. So Vag takes an I after it and an S. What does Law take after it? D, E, N and Y. So just an E from my rack. Zoa takes nothing, so that's not hot for me. I have Pryef, which is worth doing. It takes out I and N as floaters. It retains the U, and there are still 2 U's to come. Still a lot of A's to come for a bear. So Pryef would leave UNS. That's not terrible. N definitely helps the U. Q still to come. Pryef doesn't set up anything. Scores are decent. I am going with this. Great, I dodged the U's. And this looks super close to a bingo, but do I have one? I don't think unstyle is good. Let me check that. Well, it's obviously not good. But now I know it's not good. Okay, so what are the other floaters? Or what are the floaters? There's an S for less and ness. I've got the un prefix. I've got the ly ending. I do not have an A for a bear. That's going to be significant. I have a Y for law. So I could play just YU in that spot. 24 points. Great, just 17 for opponent. War takes an E after it. W takes an E to its right. Wow, I hope I'm not missing a bingo here. I lead by 140. How many E's to come? Loads. So there are still both blanks to come, so it's worthwhile turning over tiles. This is slightly dangerous. I'm setting up a hot spot in column 8, but it's not a hot spot for a bingo, so given my lead, this spot is more valuable to me than opponent. Any play down through that is going to create floaters, and NST, if I draw one or two vowels, is going to be super close to a bingo. 28 points. Yep, I am going with this. Oh, wow, and I don't draw vowels. All those A's and E's eluding me. I don't have anything fantastic in column 8. I think Preef takes an E. Gosh, so I may have had a big play in column 14. Well, that opportunity is gone. So what can I do with this rack? Board's getting quite tight, which is good since I lead. But there are bingo lanes. Great. Opponent burns his S, only scores 36 points. But has drawn 5 tiles with 2 blanks unseen. Now, the rack looks easy to sort out in the sense that not would leave RST, but I'm not seeing anywhere to play not. Just wondering about burning my S on Intarsia. Don't really like doing that. So I could play knots here for a lowly score, but taking out a pretty useful bingo-y floater and leaving the best rack leave. Still a J to come for JO. Yeah. Well, I could be gifting my opponent a way back into this game with a J play, and he could then bingo, but I still have a very good lead, 140, and I'm keeping a bingo-y set of tiles myself. Okay, well, still no A for a bear, and there are 4 to come. This board is pretty hot for bingo lanes, actually. There's row F, rows B and D, column 15. Well, and the floaters in D gums and column 1, so I certainly can't shut the board down. I think I mentioned the board was tight earlier. I withdraw that remark. So, do I have a bingo? Well, through an E, I would have deterges. No E available. I'm not seeing a 7. What about the floating U? Gestured. Wow, glad I spotted that. And given all of the other bingo lanes on the board, I think there's a jolly good chance that U is going to remain available. Unless opponent's got a sneaky J play. But at the moment, I have gestured. Is there anything else? And if there isn't, what do I do if my bingo is blocked? So, war takes an E, so I no longer have a vowel for going under the G. Oh, wow, an opponent takes that U, even though they had 2 A's for a bear. How wretched. Okay, so what to do? And turning over all those tiles with these blanks unseen. My lead now just 120. I'm going to struggle to keep scoring because I have no scoring tiles. What about doing this? It's 35 points. That's half a bingo. I am turning over 6 tiles with 2 blanks to come. I am going with this. Fantastic. I do draw a blank. I still dodge the A's, which is unbelievable. I think there were about 13 of them when I first noticed the front hook. Just 2 to go. So, a lot of vowels. And this board is friendly for bingos ending in, well, certainly ending in an E with the P. Don't think I have one with this rack. Close to audity. So what to do? I could play Etui and Praif. I'm really going to struggle to score with this, but given that I've got the blank, I think my priority should be leaving myself with the most bingo-y rack leave. Pretty much regardless of points, and I don't think that's going to involve a big score sacrifice because I have only 1-point tiles and a 0-point tile. So I've got Etui in row L above Makila, 12 points. 16 with Praif, that's nice, and that's also taking out column 15 as a bingo lane, which is quite a high scoring lane. Well, opponent obstructs the front hook for bear. Nothing goes in front of C. So opponent has not created any opportunities with this triple word square. This is what I was thinking of, Etui for 17. Let me count the remaining vowels. 9 out of 22. Well, I'm keeping two vowels, so I don't think there's any problem at all in burning 3. I'm going with this, and I draw an A. Fantastic. So I would have had leadens if opponent had not played biotic. But, wow, what about, I was going to say delender, but that doesn't work. Well, it does. If delender is good, that plays in column 1. But is it good? I think it is. However, it's free challenge, void challenge rather, so it doesn't matter if I'm mistaking that, but I should have a backup option in case that's not good or the spot is blocked. Well, the same word is playable in row D, so how about a different word? 12 minutes on my clock. I'm looking for a 7. Endable, I think is good. Cleaned. Oh no, it's ends ED, not AD. Cleaned, elanced, enlaced. Our opponent's played, fantastic. Well, let me not waste any time here. Let's see if delender stays on the board for 84. And it does, amazing. And I draw the second blank. There is truth and justice in the world. And look at this, I've got the good scoring tiles in the H and the X. So, what am I going to do? Well, I'm certainly going to win the game. I lead by, I still lead by 160 points. Oh, no tiles in the bag, so I haven't got time to turn this rack into a bingo-y rack. So I've either got a bingo right now, or I'm not going to have one. Nice score for opponent, 54 points, 11 minutes on my clock. I'm seeing Jinx top right, which looks pretty handy. Do I have anything better? So I don't think I have a bingo with the J. Bingo lanes, column 2, row D. So I would have a bingo through an N or a T with Xanthian. Where are the floaters? There's the D, there's the J, and I think that's it. So, do I have a bingo with a D? That really doesn't look likely. Wow, 10 minutes on my clock. That's a lot. So, let me see what Jinx scores. 54 points. I am definitely going out with this rack cleave. And, well, his opponent going out with Tyre. He's got Tyre, so this is my last rack. He can't go out with the J, so can I score more than 54 points? What about Hex? 46. That's close. Is there anything obviously a lot better? Axo not good. No, not seeing anywhere better. I'm going with Jinx for 54. And, well, over 200 point lead. Opponents got just 4 1 point tiles on their rack. Yep. And the final score, 305 for opponent, 495 for me, a winning margin of 190 points, so a huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Epic stuff. So it was opponent to go first. They changed. And I played Zloty for 48, and I like that. Opponent plays Hoon. And now I have Unbared. What was also playable was Unbared and Breadnut. Sorry, Unbared through the E of Zloty, Breadnut onto the T. So before opponent's play, I had Breadnut and Turbaned. And then Unbared playable in a different spot in column 8, but my play scored most. Opponent plays a bear. And I do have A's for a bear. However, in Tarsia for 66, how crazy that you have the same bingo on 2 consecutive games. Unbelievable. Very unlikely thing to happen. Now, opponent with no vowels plays Fap. And I have Scows for 52. That looks fine. And look at this, I've already established a huge lead, so very uphill battle for opponent. Plays Vag rather. Now, K11, Surf, that is the Antalsia spot, so it does take an S. I play Priya for 26. Yeah, I think there's little between these, although Surf is 9 more points, it burns the S. Now, opponent does have the A for a bear and does have options in that spot. Doesn't play there, plays War. Phew, I was waiting for a missed bingo to pop up, but there wasn't one. Interesting, K5. Where I play Yule for 28, I could have played Yelt, retaining the U, but UNS does have some synergy. And I wouldn't be placing a vowel above this premium square. Yeah, if I played a consonant there, opponent may not have had this play of Degums. Now, having played that suboptimal play, I'm paying the price. B12, Tonk over the top of Priav. Yeah, that's burning the same tiles as I'm burning, but getting 9 more points, creating a row A lane. And some hotness in the top right. And my play takes out this S. So, difficult to say. Tonk may be better, but not hugely. Now, opponent breaks everyone's hearts by playing my killer and blocking my bingo. I have edges for 35 and I still have a good lead. So, opponent now plays biotic. And I have etui for 17. I could have got 5 more points but retained the U. And I think blank double E is a lot more bingo-y than blank IU, so I like my play. Opponent plays Revo, and I have Delender. However, look at this. Enabled. Wow. Enabled, making a bear, buy, low, et, and die. For 6 more points, that would have been fancy. But I have Delender for 84 and a guaranteed win. Bag is empty. Opponent plays Joey and I played Jinx. However, B2. Chenix playable, which would have scored 2 fewer points but would have been 10 more points better in terms of count back. So Chenix and Phoenix would have been better plays. Opponent's rack plays Tier, and that's the end of the game. So absolutely amazing stuff. Score very close to 500 points and a huge margin of victory. So absolutely everything going swimmingly and a delightful afternoon. So many thanks to opponent for a good game. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.